opened the bag and discovered at least one $100 bill and several $20 bills. She called Greco, telling her she could not accept the money, kicking off several exchanges about returning it to Greco. The publication contacted the New York City Department of Investigation, which confirmed receiving those allegations. Greco later claimed she, quote, made a mistake and apologized. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
There is news on the economy. The number of people continuing to collect unemployment benefits rose to an almost 4-year high last week, 1.97 million. First-time jobless claims also rose to 235,000. Previously owned home sales rose 2% last month from June, as mortgage rates dipped on Wall Street, selling for both the Dow and the NASDAQ. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your 710 KURV AccuWeather forecast. Mostly sunny, but a thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. Highs in the mid-90s to just over 100. Clear skies tonight, the low down to 77. Sun mixing with some clouds Friday. A thunderstorm around. Highs in the mid-90s to 100. Partly sunny, a thunderstorm in spots Saturday. A high of 96. Humid with more clouds and sun, and an afternoon thunderstorm Sunday. A high of 95. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina on the Valley's official weather station, 710 KURV.
It's hurricane season. The time to prepare is now. Stay ahead of the storm with Tropical Coverage 2025 on News Talk 710 KURV, your trusted source for real-time updates. With resources from AccuWeather and the National Weather Service, we'll bring you the information you need to be ready and be prepared. Tropical Coverage 2025 is powered by Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, McAfee Agency, Insurance, Lee's Pharmacy, and News Talk 710 KURV.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Digging without contacting Texas 811 first could cost more than you think. Texas 811 is a free service that helps you avoid damaging underground utilities like electric or gas lines. Every year, accidents happen because someone didn't take a moment to contact 811. Whether installing a fence or working on a construction site, contacting Texas 811 is the law. It's quick, free, and keeps you safe. Visit texas811.org today for more information. Safe digging starts with one simple step. Make it today.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV.
You are in tune with the, as we call it these days, the pulse of Valley business. And we're talking lots of business today. I'm Sergio Sanchez, hour 2 of the Sergio Show. We are, of course, on 710 KURV AM radio. And as I always ask you, join us at Radio Parami. Download the free app, but producer Freddie has us online as well. You know, the different platforms that you and I check for funny videos and silly videos, but educational stuff as well. Here's some of the educational stuff for us that I hope will lead to more prosperity and opportunities for our families and our kids in South Texas. The Sergio Show, we're on the road this hour, broadcasting from the Mid-Valley campus, South Texas College, here in Weslaco, Texas. The folks from this private sector industry recruitment effort, this new effort that we're so, from my perspective, I'm just thrilled to be a part of it, that 710 KURV is a part of, to communicate this to you. You're working for a living, you're taking care of business, you're making payroll, you're trying to keep your company in the black. In order to get more business, we need more business. We need more manufacturing here in South Texas. This Rioplex concept, the vision of Joaquin Spammer, a friend of the station for several years, local industrialist. He puts his money where his mouth is. He takes the risk. These are people who have capital, who invest in our market, who take a chance, put out some slabs, put out some warehousing, set up some, recruit some manufacturing, make some deals, bring jobs to the area. If it fails, that's capitalism. That's the market, right? If it fails, well, it's their money. It's their capital. So as the laws of business and capital work, where these investors who earn their money, who earn their capital, who work hard to get it, who partner with other like-minded capitalists, they're the ones who take the risk. It's not guaranteed revenue for them. They have to be very methodical and careful, but they're also very fast in the way that they conduct the business and recruitment. When you hear me say economic development at the speed of business, that means that Joaquin Spalmer, other owners of businesses, other capitalists in South Texas and northern Mexico who recognize the potential of our region to host major industries, they have clutched this sucker by the throat and said, we're running with it. We're going to recruit industry. And they already have some success stories. I want to congratulate the gang at the Economic Development Office in McAllen for stellar work in landing a big manufacturer. You'll be hearing about that here down the road pretty soon. Brownsville, at the industrial park that they're developing. I've said so many things about the wonderful opportunities and all the investment in Brownsville at our Port of Brownsville, the engine. The Port of Brownsville is represented here today. Several individuals that are in leadership at the board, but also tenants at the Port of Brownsville. Truly, the economic engine of South Texas is our Port of Brownsville. And we have representation, this Rioplex private industry, private sector initiative to recruit industry. Yeah, it has the port there appropriately there. We have folks from the educational institutions of South Texas that will be taking the requirements of, let's say, a chip manufacturer or a car motor manufacturer or whoever shows up and say, we need X amount of people with this skill set. Put them in the pipeline at the local colleges. And the school, I believe that the school districts could provide some of this as well. We have very successful trade and technology programs, as we talk about continuously in Edinburgh. Things are happening in South Texas. And like I tell my teenage son, who is in his final 2 years of, Lord willing, getting his accounting degree, getting in business. And he has grown up in a valley that has seen prosperity. Go figure, roll the clock back. When did Elon Musk show up? He showed up when my teenage son was 3 years old, Noah. He just graduated from collegiate locally. He's going to work on his accounting degree. And I hope he sticks with it because, boy, opportunities are going to be good. But my son, like thousands and tens of thousands of other babies, as I refer to them, they have grown up in a valley that is prosperous, that has so much potential, not just on the rocket building facility. That is amazing where Elon Musk is launching rockets and building rockets in South Texas, but the real world capital investment, liquefied natural gas is here in South Texas. They have grown up in this economy. They did not know an economy that was simply ag-based, that was trade-based, that was retail-based. Nothing wrong with all of that. But see, that is a compliment to what is now like a mini Houston, Galveston economy. Isn't that crazy? It's beautiful. And I tell my son, boy, not every market, not every metropolitan statistical area in this country, not everyone is enjoying the economic expansion benefits and opportunities that are available to you. Don't blow it, boy. You better stick with it because the opportunities are just crazy awesome. In engineering fields, if you're tuning into me and you have like real babies, kids in elementary school or junior high, I would strongly encourage you, amigo, to do your best to steer your child. Pay attention to their grades. Steer in a direction towards math and sciences and technology and engineering, because we need those babies to become the job seekers in about 5-10 years, those individuals in the valley who will be filling those positions in the very near future. I strongly encourage you to make sure your babies focus on that. And if your school doesn't offer that, go find it. Go find it's open enrollment all over the place. Go find your school district. Go find your private school that teaches that. Go find a magnet school. Engineering, math, technology, sciences. At this moment, Elon Musk is hiring of all the thousands of people that are on the payroll at SpaceX, about 80% of those jobs have been filled by Valley folks. Of the, 4,000 jobs at the liquefied natural gas facility, the export terminal that's being built at Brownsville, 80% have been filled by Valley residents. Isn't that crazy? That's beautiful. People moving back from Houston, Corpus Christi, or folks in the Valley. And at the moment, they are in construction mode at the Port of Brownsville. They're building the terminal. When they're done by 2027 and the first ship, liquefied natural gas powered ship, will export liquefied natural gas to Europe or other customers that have already been set up. By the time that happens, we will need engineers to man the LNG plant, 2 plants that we have, plus obviously for life systems and propulsion systems and all the other disciplines in engineering. Yeah, Elon Musk is presently hiring, and he's going to hire a whole many more in the near future. So if your kids are in junior high school, crack a whip. I want our huercos, our kids, our huerquillos, I want them to fill those engineering positions of all different disciplines. The time is now. In local colleges, from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, their advanced manufacturing program, STC, always creating curriculum to steer people toward high-paying jobs, from everything from truck driving to technical jobs and computer jobs. It's all there. South Texas College, Texas Southmost College, TSTC, Texas A&M, creating the engineers to fit the economy. At the McAllen campus, we have a Texas A&M. Texas A&M setting up a training facility at the Port of Brownsville, again, to fill the demand for jobs, jobs, jobs. In my 30 years of broadcasting, I never thought I'd be in a position like this. I'm excited about this. I love this stuff because it's more than a government handout. It's more than a government block grant. It's more than dependence on the paternal state. This is the market. This is real market, private sector market, capital investment in our families, our kids. So be a part of it. You're in industry, you have land, you're in any type of manufacturing, you're in logistics. Let's say you're a specialist in trades and of different sorts. I would encourage you to find Joaquin Spammer, Mario Reina, the directors at the Port of Brownsville. Ask them how you can be a part of RioPlex, this recruitment effort for industry in South Texas, because of what we have right now and what is on the horizon soon to arrive. There's a lot more because we live in a new political culture that is spurring the return of industry and manufacturing to the United States. And in here in the Valley, absolutely, we can host new industry of all different, high-tech industry as well. And some of it, high-tech stuff, it's on the way. Let me go back to the mothership 710 KURV. And they're wrapping up. They just named the ambassadors. I'll show some of those names here in a little bit. But I want to share some of the audio I was able to acquire earlier. Mario Reina up next. Let me go back to the studio, pay some bills. The Sergio Show, live from South Texas College, the Mid-Valley campus. Again, we're with RioPlex, the industry, the private sector initiated industry recruitment effort for the region, South Texas and Northern Mexico. We'll have a chance to speak with more folks with a RioPlex push and maybe a few of these ambassadors. Stick around. Thank you to our supporters of the Sergio Show. Thank you to South Texas Buick GMC. Thank you to Lone Star National Bank. And big thank you as well to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. The time is 10:18. Sergio Show on 710 KURV.
Tune in RV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now. It's at 6:15. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV. It's hurricane season. The time to prepare is now. Stay ahead of the storm with Tropical Coverage 2025 on News Talk 710 KURV, your trusted source for real-time updates. With resources from AccuWeather and the National Weather Service, we'll bring you the information you need to be ready and be prepared. Tropical Coverage 2025 is powered by Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, McAfee Agency, Insurance, Lee's Pharmacy, and News Talk 710 KURV.
It's the Back to Drive celebration at South Texas Buick GMC. Drive off in a 2025 GMC Sierra for just $259 a month. Or get behind the wheel of a 2025 Buick Encore GX for just $245 a month. GMC, we are professional grade, space, technology, and style. Visit SouthTexasGMC.com or call us at 956-661-5000. Take the Sherry Road exit between McAllen and Mission. South Texas Buick GMC. Not the biggest, just the best.
Hurricane season is here. Protect yourself and your loved ones and get your prescriptions filled at Lee's Pharmacy today. Hard to find meds? Go to Lee's. Doctor prescribes a special compound medication? Go to Lee's. Lee's Pharmacy is one of the few local pharmacies that can prepare exactly what your doctor ordered. Need more than medicine? Lee's Pharmacy also carries a full range of medical equipment. Lee's Pharmacy, giving back to the community that made us great. Lee's Pharmacy, where your health is our priority this hurricane season and always.
I started looking for a brand I could trust and was not imported meat, and I found Good Ranchers. All their meat is 100% American, raised on local farms, and delivered right to my door. And the quality, truly incredible. I myself am a subscriber, and the benefits are amazing. I get $25 off every box, free shipping, and a free gift in every order for life. I've gotten bacon, their seed oil-free chicken nuggets, and even Wagyu burgers, and I love that I can swap the gift each month to try something new. I can pause, delay, or cancel if I'm busy traveling or something else. It's super simple and doesn't lock you in. Thousands of my listeners have already made the switch to Good Ranchers and left nothing but great reviews. Their food is so good. I literally have Wagyu burgers waiting for me when I go back home tonight. Go to goodranchers.com to see all what the fuss is about. Use my code KIRK today. You'll get $40 off plus free meat for life. That is promo code KIRK for $40 off plus free meat for life when you start a new subscription. Go to goodranchers.com. Welcome to the table.
Covering the Valley and the entire world on the World Wide Web. Log on, KURV.com. News Talk 710 KURV.
The Sergio Show on the road. We're at South Texas College, Mid-Valley Campus, and Weslaco. The good folks at RioPlex, the industry recruitment effort, the private industry recruitment effort from the private sector at recruiting business at the speed of business for South Texas. They're holding an event right now as we speak with you. They're fleshing out some of the economic data. That's some of the assets we have on the ground available to industry. But naming the ambassadors, as we've mentioned before, the folks who will, the best I can describe, be the salesman, right? To sell this region, South Texas, northern Mexico. Mario Reyna, a dear friend of many years. Mario Reyna is part of that team, the advisory board. What is the title with RioPlex right now for you, Mario?
Well, they have me. I'm a board member, but at the same time, I'm serving as the executive director.
For folks who are working for a living, driving around town, tuning into KURV. So describe for me, what is RioPlex? It's a new concept. I'm a big fan because I believe that this would be the way for us to land a lot more jobs like real quick in South Texas.
Absolutely. RioPlex is an idea that we're going to promote everything from Roma to Bronzeville, from Miguel Alemán to Matamoros. So when you have that huge region of 3.5 million people and all the bridge crossings, all the seaports, all the airports, and all the great educated people that we have something to sell to the outside world so they can kind of make an investment in our regions so we can continue in our way to having greater prosperity.
Industrialist Joaquin Spammer, I would say this is pretty much his vision. It's become a reality. It is a driving force to try to recruit industry. And he was explaining to me the other day how in a sit down with some EDC folks, a couple of cities, and they were talking with some potential investors or folks who wanted to relocate to the area, they were able to present from the city's perspective what they offered. But then when Mr. Spalmer had the floor and was able to present to these folks who were coming in from Asia, it's like, when you look at the entire region from the Eagles Bridge, South Texas, Northern Mexico, it'll blow your socks off. It's like, that's when the spark turned on. It lit. Said, really? The investors went, you have all this to offer in South Texas? I think that is our best foot forward, is to sell the region and show them all the massive assets that we have on education, on infrastructure, on potential workforce as well.
Absolutely. So when you think of all those numbers, you have to think about all the people that are going to college right now. Just on the U.S. side alone, there's over 100,000 people attending colleges. If you take the Mexican side, you probably will add another 50,000. And then you think of all the younger population that's coming up, which is a very young population. Numbers are the same. Over 100,000 people in high schools on the U.S. side. And I'm sure that Mexico has a similar number. So you look at those numbers, and then people say, okay, so if I come here and the average age is 27, I don't have to worry about hiring anyone for 40 years. I don't have to worry about that. So that is the idea. And what the ambassadors are going to do, they're going to help us be the face of RioPlex in the community. And at the same time, if there's a trade mission, those that can will go with us as representatives of the community that they serve.
And when you say trade missions, you're talking about the big conferences, industry get-togethers in Europe, in Asia, where the manufacturers are there. Then you get right in their face, shake hands with them. So let me show you Southern Texas and Northern Mexico. What we have, we're ready. Come on over. We may not have the name recognition of Houston and Dallas, but we have everything that you need to bring industry.
Absolutely. You know, we went to Houston not so long ago, and as a result of that visit, we went to Houston because there's 30 countries, 30 consulates in Houston. So as a result of that visit, there's a country that continues to talk to us, and others, there's still more communication. So now we're going to go to Mexico City. We're going to go visit with the embassies in Mexico City, and we're going to do the same thing we did in Houston. Excellent. And then we're going to go, the idea is to go to Korea, go to Taiwan, but that's in the coming years. But right now, the focus is on getting the organization, RioPlex, established, settled. You know, we need membership. That's going well. We need to have the ambassadors. That's going well. We're going to have strategic partners like STC, for example, UTRGV, and even you help us a lot in what we're doing. Your radio station is very helpful. So we're going to establish those kind of partnerships to continue moving forward.
It is economic development at the speed of business, recruiting industry. We are in business to make money, whether it's, our little radio outfit, all the stations, but you guys who are bringing the factories and bringing the manufacturers. And we have the skill set and the educational institutions to prepare the population, put them toward that skill set as well. Your expertise, Mario Reina, by the way, is my guest. We're broadcasting from South Texas College, Mid-Valley Campus in Weslaco. The industry recruitment effort known as RioPlex right now is naming the different ambassadors, folks that are in industry, that have capital, folks that are in local leadership, that will be the team, the sales team that will catapult to Europe, to Asia, and speak with governments. And let's create a funnel of industry to South Texas, because we can host them. We can fill those positions. And we got a very young workforce, as Mario was saying. Mario Reina, he has very deep roots when it comes to education, and was with South Texas College for many years. So from your perspective, knowing what we have at South Texas College, at UTRGV, Texas Southmost College, TSTC, you name it, Texas A&M, McAllen, Texas A&M, the Workforce Training Center, I think we are ready to take any demands and create a quick curriculum, turn things around really quick, and create a pipeline of workforce.
Absolutely. So when you think of what we can do, think about SpaceX. Okay. Most of our people are working at SpaceX. The latest information that I have is that 80% of the people that work there are from our region. So if we can handle SpaceX, if we can handle all the LNG construction that's going on, so that should tell someone else, the big industry out there that are thinking of coming here, well, SpaceX is there. Those huge LNG operations are taking place. Yeah, so we can take on the bigger industries if they want to come here. But right now we're concentrating on industries that can handle 200 or 300 people, that employments.
Yeah.
Okay, those are the kind of industries that we're targeting. But obviously, if someone is looking at our area and they look at SpaceX and they look at the number of people that they employ, they should be able to tell that we have that capability.
There are engineering disciplines, various stripes, whether it's traditional oil and gas, liquefied natural gas, gas propulsion systems and things with chemicals over at SpaceX, those very specialized engineering fields. UTRGV and even Texas A&M are helping to create that funnel because it's going to be a few years, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. But I think we'll be ready to keep the talent and no longer see that bleed of talent going to Houston and other markets.
Absolutely. And speaking with some of the people at SpaceX, they plan to hire more people, and that means greater opportunity for everyone else. So anyone that's listening to your program that's not from here, think about RealPlex, think about investing in our region. We're here to serve you.
Anyone who's in business right now, driving around listening to KURV, how can they become an ambassador? How can they help the RealPlex effort? Because if we're successful, if we land that industry, and we got, again, on the horizon already, a CIL Capital, Joaquin Spalmer, and some of the help from RealPlex and the recruitment efforts and getting in the face of these folks. And we're seeing some success stories. We're getting a big manufacturer. Congratulations to McAllen EDC for that big manufacturer just south of the freeway on Ware, coming up pretty soon on Joaquin Spalmer's land. We got 2 projects in Florida, another one in Brownsville. They're all over the place. They're on the horizon. But I'm sure that someone must be tuning in saying, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. But Joaquin is on the board. The Port of Brownsville is on the board. Steve Guerra. We have Carlos Garcia. We have Morgan Lamantia is joining the board, and Lucille Cavazos. So we have all those very high-level individuals that are helping us promote the region, and their wisdom, their knowledge is going to help us even do better things going forward.
All right. Website. Well, I know there's
we have a website. It's under construction right now, but check us out at realplex.com.
10-4. Thanks for the time, Mario. Congratulations, and more power to you and all the gang at RealPlex. The Sergio Show, broadcasting from South Texas College in Weslaco, Mid-Valley. Again, the gang, the industry recruitment effort known as RealPlex. Today is a special day for them. They are announcing the ambassadors, local leaders of industry that will be part of that team, the sales force to go out there and sell South Texas and Northern Mexico. Already some successes to report. In case you missed it, go look for it online. Conversation I had with Joaquin Spalmer from CIL Capital. Again, this is his vision, but we have local leadership and local business people that are locking arms with him and other like-minded folks because we can. Absolutely we can. We already have. And we are in an enviable position here in South Texas, like no other market. My goodness, Elon Musk is our neighbor. I'm still pinching myself. We got SpaceX here. We're building rockets. We're sending rockets to Mars sometime in the near future. Lord willing, Lord willing. Good luck with Starship number 10 on Sunday. Again, the launch for them about 6:30. But with the billions of dollars that are being invested at the Port of Brownsville with liquefied natural gas, the first investment, billions more with another one that's already moving dirt, creating jobs. Yeah, the Valley is happening. And we have a coordination taking place with the colleges. And I would say also with local public schools like Edinburgh CISD. They've got that career and technology training facility that is training welders. Welders is like you can't get enough of them at the port right now. Edinburgh CISD is training them. We had a conversation I shared with you earlier on the program with Texas Works, that high school program for adults. State of Texas investing to train adults who do not have a skill set like, let's say, welding, get it quick and go out there. Go to the port. Let's fill those jobs so that we continue being the largest employer of Valley people. Not import, not bring in talent from Houston, not bring in talent from the Gulf Coast, but bring in, fill those jobs from the Valley. We can train them here in South Texas. So thank you for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV. This is the Sergio Show special edition from the RealPlex Conference, naming the ambassadors to represent this area. We're at the South Texas College campus in Weslaco. Big thank you to our supporters of the Sergio Show. Big thank you to Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, Lone Star National Bank. Big thanks as well to South Texas Buick GMC.
Jay Gonzalez, the Valley's top lawyer with over 20 years of experience. Jay Gonzalez is simply the best. If you've been injured in a crash, call 1-800-CAR-CRASH today.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now. Drive off in your own 2025 Infinity QX60 with 0% APR for 36 months. All available with Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
Imagine a child in extreme poverty waiting over a year to be sponsored. End their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text RADIO to 83393.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Hurricane Aaron slowly moving out to sea, still churning up the Atlantic along the East Coast.
Hurricane Aaron is bringing tropical storm force conditions for coastal areas of North Carolina and Virginia. The mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and New England coastlines will also see indirect impacts from the storm, including life-threatening surf and rip currents.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. Russia launched one of the largest aerial attacks this year on Ukraine overnight. At least one person's reported killed, 15 injured.
Russia launched 574 drones and 40 missiles across Ukraine. The Ukrainian Air Force says the attacks mostly targeted western regions of the country, where much of the military aid provided by Western allies is believed to be delivered and stored. On X, President Zelensky said several missiles were lobbed against American-owned electronics manufacturers.
It's Fox's Stephanie Bennett. America's listening to Fox News.
Broadcasting from the Valley's commercial and fleet headquarters studio at PayneAutoGroup.com. You're listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
Time is 10:36. The Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. As we've been saying of late, the pulse of Valley business. And I got Joaquin Spammer to thank for that. Man, all this Rioplex conversation, you guys who listen faithfully to KURV may remember, all this started in Houston back in April at a big splash, big kickoff event. They had like consulate folks and folks from other countries, like 12, 15 countries. They were selling South Texas and northern Mexico too. And they got a good lead from it. Mario Reina, if you heard in the last conversation, they got so one good lead. They're chomping down to that bone and trying to get something out of it. That's good. You heard Mr. Joaquin Spammer from CIL Capital. Again, this is Rioplex concept, his brainchild, but it is so good to see leadership from cities and from county and economic development offices and industrialists of all stripes, man, people who are experts in warehousing and logistics and manufacturing, property owners in the Mexican side, the U.S. side, and experts in other types of businesses from Houston down to the Valley. We have the assets that can host industry. This whole Rioplex industry recruitment effort, it comes from the private sector, and I do hope they're successful more and more because, well, that benefits all of us, our kids, our families, all the jobs coming to South Texas. My guest is, if you can join us on 710 KURV, Facebook and YouTube and X Live, all the different platforms. Yeah, we're broadcasting on the platforms. You'll see that my guest, some of y'all may know him because we speak to a lot of businesses in South Texas. Sharif Gunela is president of the Brownsville Rio Grande International Railway. That would be the Port of Brownsville. That's where the HQ is at, right, Sharif? That's where your office is at? Yeah, we've spoken with the gang at Omnitrax before, which, by the way, happy birthday. It was a big birthday celebration not too long, about 12, 24 months ago. You guys are a huge part of the business. So as the business is expanding, we'll talk about your ambassadorship appointment for Rioplex here in a minute. But with all the amazing things happening at the port, with LNG and for steel operations, what they're doing, expanding and shipbuilding, all those things. And of course, more goods coming and the prospect of more business. Maybe, I don't know, cargo container ships, because they're deepening the port. We might have new tenants. So tell me, it takes a while to lay down, I would imagine, new track, new connections and all that. You must be preparing, thinking ahead of where do we put, where do we connect, how many, vessels can we take, and then where do we go from here to connect rail to the rest of Texas? So what's going on at Omnitrax?
Yeah, that's correct. And good morning. And thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
opportunity to speak with you today. And you're correct. We had our 40th anniversary 2 years ago. So next year will be our 42nd. We have been growing since the beginning of the railroad, and it came from a vision from the port. The commissioners, they saw that there was going to be rail needed for the region to grow.
Yeah.
That's how the BRG Omnitrax came about. In the last 2 years, since I took over the presidency of the BRG, we have seen significant growth. And part of my role is to start preparing for what's ahead. How can we start planning, working directly with the Port of Brownsville to cope with the demand that we're going to be seeing in the next couple of years due to the fact that there's a lot of manufacturing and companies interested in coming to the Valley because of the logistic positions that brings to the goods that they move around the world. And that could be Mexico, US.
I can just imagine what's on your to-do plate in order to prepare for that. Because, you mentioned something that is just on the horizon with the new manufacturers that are coming down here. They, through other colleagues, I would imagine, they connect through rail eventually to the port. Like, for example, at Omnitrax, the rail line, as I just call the rail line for the Port of Brownsville. How far out does your company, your extension go and then connect to others that would feed in from, let's say, the auto plant or jet manufacturer back to you for shipment?
Yeah, in Brownsville, we have about 45 miles of tracks. It connects locally, primarily within the Port of Brownsville, also goes into Brownsville itself to service a couple of customers that we have in the area, but primarily is concentrating the Port of Brownsville. And then we connect to a Class 1, the UP, which is our primary service provider for the region. And they're the ones who technically take the goods from the Valley up north to the rest of the U.S. And into Mexico, we work with CPKC of Mexico, who's the one or the provider that will take the goods from the border down into Mexico.
The industrial park that is developing at the Port of Brownsville, will that any cargo from there will be trucked over to a rail line, or is there a plan to extend rail line to the industrial park on board?
Yes, the extension of rail lines comes down to the demands that the port will have. So in industrial park right now, they currently have a customer that is not rail served or doesn't have the need for rail right now. But with the remaining availability that they have, if rail is needed, then yes, we'll
just by nature, it would need to be reactive, not necessarily proactive, because you need to, for example, the industrial park, you need to build the demand before you put an extension.
And usually these projects, they'll take about a year or so before they become fructitious, and that's enough time for us to lay rail and services.
My guest is Sharif Conella. He's president of our Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville rail line, Omnitrax. It's the Brownsville Rio Grande International Railway. 10 years from now, your company, Omnitrax, and the port, where do you see us as far as what type of industry we host and how much more rail line you might have in order to put it on ships or get it out of town or get it into Mexico, whatever needs to happen?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. I think 10 years from now, we will see the Valley as a prime logistic hub, whether it's rail, ocean, service roads, and the space industry will be the main hub for South Texas and Northern Mexico. We're on a prime location, and, we service the Port of Brownsville, which I think should be the port of the Valley. We're one of the deepest service port. We are in a prime location. We have connectivity throughout North America. And is prime. We're at a stage where we still have the flexibility to accommodate the demand that we see. When we compare ourselves with other ports around the area, they're already at capacity. They don't have the land availability to establish, industries there. And we're at the position where we actually have that availability to accommodate new companies coming down to set their home here.
Whether it's the big manufacturer plant about to set up in McAllen, any industry arriving in FAR, Weslaco, it all connects by rail, eventually to the Port of Brownsville for export and for import. And SpaceX, customer down the street, I can just imagine what will be brought in or exported out, engine components and life systems and all those things that SpaceX can provide. Sharif Gonella, president of Omnitrax, that's the rail line for the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. And that's what I call it, the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. And also the Port of Monterrey, by the way, because of all the steel that's coming in there. I'm sure you're working that all the time, getting all that steel product.
Yes, that's one of our
prime
customers, for sure.
So since we do have cameras, I'm going to ask you, Flaquito, can you give him the plaque real quick, that one? So today's event at South Texas College here in the Mid-Valley in Weslaco was to name a team of ambassadors who will represent this region, South Texas and Northern Mexico. As I've been saying, a glorified team of sales. We're all in sales.
Correct.
And we need to do an even better job of selling this region. We don't have the name recognition of Houston or San Antonio or Dallas, but we have everything. And as I was shown in one of the presentations, never really saw it this way. The Rio Grande Valley in northern Mexico, this region, southern Texas, northern Mexico, it is an equal point of distribution to the interior of Mexico, or from this point to Dallas, right? It's like we're at the center point, perfect for logistics, which for you is wonderful.
Correct.
So you've been named one of the ambassadors that, as the opportunity arises, go and speak with consulate folks that are experts in business recruitment. Go speak at European or Asian conferences and get in the face of industry and say, we got it. We got the people. We got the land. We got the airports. Hey, we even have a spaceport. Come to South Texas. We're ready. We can host your industry. So and see if your camera's over here. See if you can show folks more than just putting this on the wall and being a nice title as ambassador for this region on behalf of Rioplex and recruiting industry for South Texas. Yeah, there's going to be some work involved. So a lot of travel with other team members. What does it mean to you to be a part of this, this effort?
It's a great honor. And, I'm not from the Valley. I just moved to the Valley about 2 years ago when I took over the VRG. And to me, I'm very proud to be recognized as an ambassador because now being here, I'm able to pretty much advertise what the Valley brings to the business industry. My background is in supply chain. I have traveled all over the world. I have lived in different cities. So I understand the need of a efficient regional location for the supply chain. And the Rio Grande Valley is one of those. And I see that part of the potential. So now I'm able to go out there and through the customers that I meet and our current customers, potential customers, be able to explain that, this is a key location for the future growth of the region. Whether it's North America, South America, we were just talking to a customer where they're like, well, we keen on South America moving goods to the U.S. We want Brownsville to be the port of entry. I'm like, yeah, this is the right location to do that.
Have you worked on your elevator pitch? You know how they say, make sure you're ready with a 1 minute elevator pitch to sell whatever you're selling. You working on that? That 1 minute elevator pitch?
Yes, I have to.
You never know. You might have the, CEO of BMW or somebody else say, hey, but let me tell you about the Rio Grande Valley. You ever heard of Elon Musk? Yeah, he's our neighbor. Yeah, you could start with that. Oh, really? Tell me about that.
That definitely is, opens a conversation for sure.
Yeah, right. It helps. Thank you for stopping by. We wish you great success, you and all the other ambassadors. Because if you guys are able to send out that, throw out that net and capture that industry, more business for you and everybody else, more jobs for our families in South Texas. Thank you, Sharif. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sharif Gonella, president of Omnitrax, Brownsville Rio Grande International Railway. Yeah, their HQ, their backbone is all at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. You're listening to the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. I want to say thank you to our sponsors this hour. Thank you to South Texas Buick GMC, Lone Star National Bank. We'll get a chance to meet another ambassador for the region on behalf of Rioplex. We're broadcasting today's program, special edition. We're with Rioplex Industry Recruitment for the region at South Texas College in Weslaco.
Do you want your business to be everywhere? At News Talk 710 KURV, we make it possible with live local radio, social media, streaming, and digital products. We'll make sure your brand gets noticed, heard, and shared. We have the perfect marketing for any budget or business. Call right now for a free quote at 956-992-8895. We're ready to put you on the map. Let's take your business to the next level. Call 956-992-8895 or visit radiounited.com.
The true meaning of caring is feeling and showing concern, compassion, and kindness for others. It's been said, there is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. At McCaleb Funeral Home, it's what drives us.
Hi, I am Carla McCaleb. Along with my husband Mark and our caring staff, we know we are in the healing business because we hear it from families we serve. Please read our reviews about our life celebrations and fair and transparent prices for unmatched service, and how we lift people up with our healing care and compassion. Celebrating lives since 1963.
The Valley's only life celebration home. To learn more about the choices you can make now so a future funeral becomes more of a celebration of life, call Carla at 956-650-2841, 956-650-2841, or visit their website, McCalebFuneralHome.com.
Give me a minute warning at the end, Freddie, then 30 seconds.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
1050, the Sergio Show on News Talk 710 KURV. Thanks for the emails, by the way. Sergio, Sergio, Sergio at KURV.com. For us, it's an amazing honor to be a part of this continuing push by the private sector to recruit industry at the speed of business, as we like to say. Rioplex, the brainchild of Joaquin Spammer, a lot of local leadership here today, pushing forward with more projects, more recruitment, and they've been somewhat successful up to date. If you missed the conversation I had with Joaquin Spammer, the big manufacturer coming to McAllen, two big businesses that plotting will be expanding to in far, Weslaco, Brownsville, major projects that are on the horizon. Go find it, 710 KURV YouTube, 710 KURV X. I know the boys will get a chance. Probably producer Joe posted on LinkedIn as well. So today's event here at South Texas College in Weslaco, today's Rioplex event brought in a bunch of folks in business and local leadership, and they named a team of ambassadors that will continue the push and continue this aggressive private sector push to recruit industry for this region. So we have folks who represent various disciplines, various types of industry, and this team will be the ones who, out of their own pocket, for the sake of growing business and manufacturing. You see, they bring manufacturing to the area, they benefit. We all benefit, but they're the ones who are investing in the recruitment effort for industry. It's a private sector push at the speed of business, hoping to bring more business down here. And ambassadors, that's what they will do. They will go and be in the face of leadership in Europe and Asia and in industry all over the world and take those trade missions here pretty soon. Among them, Juan Luis Perez. Come up to the microphone, my brother. I appreciate you making time. He's one of the ambassadors named today. He's living in Houston right now, I believe, right?
Correct.
Yeah, but your roots are from this region. So tell me about yourself and what you do for a living.
Well, I'm from Mexico City, not from this region, but we have a special thing with Brownsville. An uncle of mine, which I visited when I was very young, he brought us here a lot of times. And my father did have a steel mill in Brownsville years ago.
The old steel
we're
mill.
We're talking back in the 60s.
That was his?
That was his.
That was the old steel mill.
It was a little rolling steel mill.
Yeah.
That was in.
But to this day, I hear about that business.
Well, that was shut down back in the 80s, and there's other steel mills that are in the Rio Bravo area, but that's not related with us.
Yeah, I see.
It's a different business.
But today, like, how do you pay the bills? What do you do today?
Well, we're a trading business mainly in Houston. We do commodities. Steel is one of them. We still have very large distribution centers in Mexico, owned by my family. I'm not part of it, of course, because I've been living in Houston for the last 16 years. I just got my residency, by the way, yesterday, which I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
And since we came in here, we start doing things related to logistics, terminals, ship terminals, and of course, still moving our commodities through Houston, through Brownsville. We have some contracts in the port of Brownsville related to aggregates. We bring aggregates from Spain and Mexico for the growth of the port, the LNGs, and some other projects that they need the aggregate.
Yeah, whether it's chemicals or any other compounds. Well, they're heavy. And I tell you what, that plus the steel, that tonnage number for the port of Brownsville, it just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. And I'm thinking from this point on, that tonnage number that they work at the port is just going to grow exponentially.
It's
off the charts. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's the growth that the port has had in the last 5-6 years is exponential, and what it comes in the future is going to be pretty much growing at a very fast speed as well. And that's a little bit what brought us here to the Rioplex. Joaquin Spammer is a good friend for a lot of years, and he has been telling us a lot about Rioplex. We like the idea, and we're not yet there, but we're building a very large project. One of those projects that were in there in the presentation today is considering that $30+ billion, but yet is not being finally approved. But we're working with the port very diligently to get this approved. And that is going to expedite also the growth of the port of Brownsville, because we're relating this to what we call an efficiency port. Okay, and we will not like to talk too much about it yet because it's not been approved.
No, understood.
Yet. But I mean, if that happens, which it's looking like it will, then the growth of the port might be faster than what we think.
Would you be able to say what commodity it would
It's not
involve?
only one commodity. It's a full efficiency project for unloading and loading ships.
Okay, so more logistics based.
Yeah, it's,
working with a spectrum of different.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's going to take a lot of cargo.
Yeah, and you'll need the ports. You'll need the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. Juan Luis Perez, my guest, one of the ambassadors named on behalf of Rioplex, part of a team that will someday soon go out there and continue selling, and bringing more jobs and industry to South Texas. So how? Have you given some thought, and what will you say? If given a chance to meet, I don't know, the CEO of some major European manufacturer or a pharmaceutical or somebody,
well,
what would you say to them?
Well, I have met a lot of people here, of course, in this meeting today, and another meeting that they did have in Houston, Texas, a few months ago, and it's exciting.
Oh, you were there in the April kickoff event.
Correct.
For Rioplex. Okay,
correct.
yeah.
So I was there.
Yeah.
And that's when Joaquin explained me a little bit more about what is all this. But yes, we're excited to meet people, and we can bring a lot of people ourselves that we know all over the world. From the world that we're at in the trading business and logistics, you meet a lot of those CEOs that you're talking about, and we're planning on helping them to bring more people in.
What do you think is the low-hanging fruit? What type of businesses or trade could we bring quickly to South Texas from your perspective, specialists in logistics?
It's a lot. For example, I can tell you that some of the clients that we might bring immediately in is something that has been forgotten in this area, which is the grain business.
Okay.
Texas is a very large exporter of grains to China, and also they import into Mexico. So we were planning on using the port also for bringing those commodities through the port for exports or for imports.
Complements some of the work that's taking place at the port, right? Because their industrial park, we've had conversations on that big Italian food processor that's setting up shop there. And before that, there was plenty of talk about the silo and making sure we host more of that.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we do that? How do we go after that and export or import?
That's part of the project that we're developing. And
who do you go for something like that if that's your focus? Who do you get in front of?
Well, well, you get in front of a lot of the folks that we already know and try, because our efficient port, or what we call the efficient port, it's something that will expedite the use of the actual infrastructure and the future infrastructure that we're building, and that will make all of these people to come into here. Even people that are in Houston for all different type of cargos are already thinking of coming here.
I was going to say, you probably would need to siphon some business and use a more efficient method of distribution from Houston, probably, because that would be the port of choice right now.
Correct.
All right. Sorry, Houston. Love you, Houston. Love you, H-Town. I'm from Houston, too. But yeah, that's fine. There's plenty of business to go around, especially with the expanding economy. Thank you, Mr. Pettis. We wish you success in your recruitment efforts.
Thanks for the interview, and thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
Mr. Spammer.
Come back and see us.
I will.
Juan Luis Pettis, expert in export, import, and we hope he has great success as one of the ambassadors recruiting business for this region. On behalf of RioPlex, the industry recruitment effort, on behalf of South Texas College, I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thank you to our supporters this hour, the Sergio Show from South Texas College in Weslaco. Thank you to Lone Star National Bank, South Texas Buick GMC, and Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. This is KURV Edinburgh. It's 11 o'clock.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710.